Hi, I'm Trevor, and we're going to be talking about the Manhattan cocktail. This is a tremendous cocktail with a lot of history to it. This one is particularly usually associated with Jenny Jerome, who was married to Lord Randolph Churchill, Winston Churchill's parents. And people claim that this was a cocktail that she kind of inspired. That's one of those things that's always debated. And one thing that you don't debate about this cocktail is how delicious it is and how much fun it is to drink. We've used a Japanese ice sphere maker to produce these beautiful spheres. Now, the reason why I use that ice is because, let's say, for example, if you look at the mojito or you look at the mint julep, that crushed ice melts really quickly. You don't want that. You want a bigger chunk of ice or a nice sphere. The sphere looks good in terms of the appearance, right? You look at it, you're like, oh wow, how do they do that? How do they get that really beautiful looking sphere? Well, that is part of the draw, but also in terms of the practical side, it's going to dilute your drink at a lower rate or a slower rate than any other type of ice. What we're using today to make our Manhattan is a little bit of martini vermouth and of course Canadian Club, the sherry cask Canadian Club, your base spirit being a rye whiskey or a Canadian whiskey in the case of Canadian Club, American whiskey sometimes, bourbon even. It's a cocktail you can experiment with. You can even use cognac. But the important thing is you're usually staying with a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts the Canadian whiskey and 1 part vermouth. You also add bitters. Now, if you don't add bitters, it's a cardinal. It's just wrong. You have to add bitters because bitter ties all the flavors together. Bitters, for those of you who don't know, are kind of like the salt and pepper seasoning to a bartender as you would find to a chef, right? And again, don't be shy with bitters because bitters are your friend. We stir this cocktail traditionally, or in my opinion, I like to stir it as opposed to shaking it. The reason why you don't shake it, in my opinion, is because by shaking it, you're breaking up the ice and you're diluting the cocktail and the spirits. This is all booze. Shaking it changes not only the amount of dilution and the volume, but also the appearance, okay? It'll sometimes get cloudy and you'll get little bits and pieces of ice in there. And of course, no cocktail is complete without a garnish. And you can experiment with the different styles of cherry. Getting to the point, salute, cheers.